Hi everyone, my name's Elena. I'm your marketing manager, and I'm here today with our president, Drew Parikh. I have just a couple questions for you today about AH, how we got started, and how we got to where we are today. So,
Sure.
first question, for anyone just starting out with AH or who doesn't know, how did we get to where we are today? Tell me the full story.
Yeah, good question, Elena. So, for anyone who doesn't know, AH was originally founded as American Hydrostatics Manufacturing Inc. back in the early 80s, 1982 to be exact. AH at the time started off as a hydrostatic drive manufacturer for the American Big Three. So, a lot of the automotive car plants, GM, Chrysler, Ford, at that time, a lot of the hydrostatic drives and transfer unit material was American Hydrostatics manufactured. In the late 80s, early 90s, a lot of that equipment became obsolete and converted to electrical drive systems. So as the hydraulic ones were replaced with electronic and electrical drives, the hydraulic ones came back to AH for repair and rebuild as spare units. During rebuild and repair of the spare units, AH started acquiring many hydraulic parts, clamps, pumps, valves, and hydraulic motors that were going into these units. And along with doing that, as the business phased out of manufacturing hydraulic drives for the American Big Three, AH grew some buying power, became a distributor for a few different hydraulic lines. Fast forward to about the mid 2000s and late 2000s. My late business partner DeWall and myself ended up purchasing a very small hydraulic distribution business in 2008 2009 timeframe from the owner at that time, and really wanted to grow the business and become the next big MRO player. So we wanted to be the next Granger, the next Fastenal, the next Valen, and we wanted to go from $1 million in sales to $100 million in sales back then. And we thought the quickest way of doing that was to supply everything inside of a storeroom or an MRO crib to our customers. So as we were young and naive, we were driving around the country, meeting with potential customers. We took a trip down to Water Valley, Mississippi, to meet with a potential tier one automotive customer at the time, very small company, and he gave us really good advice. And we realized that instead of going after everything in the indirect and MRO space, that there was a real need for repair and the gatekeeping around repairs. So some of the advice he gave us, which we later picked up as we surveyed more and more potential customers, was that there was a need for a quality driven gatekeeper in the repair sector. So we were talking to more and more potential customers who were not saving money because there was a perception bias created around repairs where the maintenance teams and the plants did not want to check out a repaired unit from their shelf that was going to save them 50 or 60% versus buying a new one because they weren't sure of the quality of that unit because there was a third party repair company somewhere that had repaired that unit for them, and they had been burned too many times in the past. So we looked at a model where we could become a gatekeeper and an integrator for repair, where we could be vendor agnostic and create tech and data around it, that can give our customers almost an Uber-like model versus going to a yellow cab. It's almost like if these mid-tier companies back in 2009, 10 didn't see the value in repairing and they were losing millions of dollars in waste and not creating a sustainable environment because they weren't repairing, then what were some of the bigger players like Ford and GM and Amazon and Boeing, many of our customers today, how much were they losing back then because of the perception bias? So Dwell and I drove back 13 hours from Water Valley, Mississippi, back to that story, and emailed ourselves. I probably still have the email today. A bunch of back and forth bullet points on what we were going to do to stick to being a repair platform for our customers through an agnostic model that could guarantee quality, and really get the industry, get large scale manufacturers and large scale automation companies comfortable with repairing and knowing that quality was first and foremost.
Very nice. Yeah, it's such an inspiring story about how you listened to the customer and understood what they needed and adapted for them. So, very nice. How does that fuel our mission and vision today?
Yeah, our mission and vision kind of go hand in hand. Obviously we have a financial north star. Our day-to-day tactical north star really is to be the most customer-centric industrial services and supply company. But our mission really is to reduce waste, right? And really emphasize that 3R method, which is repair a part when it breaks, replace it, and then reuse it, back into production. So our mission is to ensure that every company, whether it's a large scale manufacturer or a large scale processor like Amazon, has the ability to rebuild broken components for three reasons. First reason is sustainability, to create a better and sustainable world. Second reason is that the inventory goes back on their books at a much lower value, so they get a balance sheet impact for financial reasons. Third reason is really twofold. They save money by repairing versus buying new if they know that they have the utmost and best quality. And they can use some of those funds to pour into R&D and innovate better products for the world. So our mission really is to ensure that every supplier we work with is vetted, is onboarded properly, and has the capabilities and the test systems to repair what they say they can repair. And that's why we use so many different vendors, from over 600 OEMs to over 2,500 third-party shops.
My last question for you is just what's next for AH Group?
Yeah, I mean, since 2009, we've grown at a very aggressive rate. It's been mainly organic growth, so through customer acquisition and really getting our story out there. What's next for us in this phase is continuing to develop the technology that we've built around the Juno platform, which is really the nucleus of everything we do in terms of processing orders, having visibility to orders, having visibility to repairs, but really taking that to the next level, and be helping our customers gain more insights so that we can, stay with them and continuously innovate and grow our business into different sectors. So, many of our team today is familiar with the fact that we're largely today automotive driven. We've had some nice wins in the last, 12 to 24 months with the likes of, Amazon and Mars and Pepsi and Boeing and Caterpillar, and really we want to grow that business and grow our model into, the broader general industry, and really get it out there, because we do think that what we're doing is something that's important for the world, but it's important that manufacturers can put money back in their pockets, and innovate better products, and use the savings towards R&D and other things. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Drew, and thank you everyone for watching.
thanks, Elena.